Oh,
The
boy.
49ers dominate. I said it, dominate the Dallas Cowboys. And a very, very convincing win. We're going to break it all down here. We saw some in-game adjustments, some second-half adjustments. Tony, you ready to talk about it, man?
Yes, sir.
Let's get it, baby.
So now they've got to start from deep in their end of the field, and Garrison Hurst takes advantage of it. He takes the handoff, hits to his right, gets to the 20. He's in the 30, needs to cut in. He comes back up the right sideline, breaks a third tackle, comes down to the 30. He's down to the 20. He's down to the 10. He's down to the 5. He's into the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown! 49ers! 96-yard run from scrimmage. Garrison Hurst breaking tackle after tackle, sweeps down the sideline. Throws off bodies like clothes after a marathon.
Young, back to throw. In trouble, he's going to be sacked. No, gets away. He runs, gets away again, goes to the 40, gets away again, to the 35, cuts back at the 30, to the 20, the 50, the 10. He died. Touchdown, 49ers.
Third down, Alex takes the snap. Alex looking down in post, and it's good. Touchdown! Touchdown, 49ers!
It is second down. Ryan takes the snap, throws the slant to the left side. It's Russell intercepted. The 49ers pick it, and Navarro Bowman is redemption. Navarro Bowman running it all the way for the touchdown. No greater redemption.
San Francisco 49ers. We can do whatever we want.
Click, click, boom. What's going on, faithfuls? It's your boys, Mike and Tony. We are here to bring you guys another fun-filled episode, man. The 49ers defeat the Dallas Cowboys, and guys, it took a lot, man. We had to dig deep on this one, man. There was a lot of negative energy going into the first half, a lot of negative energy after the first half, but man, oh man, did the 49ers find a way to turn it down. We are going to break all of it down, some of the losses, some of the gains, and much, much more, man. Our eyes were open throughout the course of this game, man. Guys, let me run through some formalities really, really quick so we can get this thing popping. Follow us on some of our social media platforms. We got IG. We got Twitch and we got Facebook. Those handles are nothing but 9ERS. We also have Snapchat and Twitter. Those handles are nothing but 9. That's the number 9. Okay, nothing but 9ERS. Hit that like and subscribe button if this is your first time here on the YouTube page. Make sure you guys turn on notifications so you know exactly when we are going live. Sometimes you're going to get an episode that says, hey, they're starting at 11:55. And it turns out we're not actually going to start until about 12:05. That's okay. Some people have sneezing fits and can't stop sneezing. You might get some more because I don't know what's going on with my nose right now, but we are still here. But the place to be, the realest, the truest, the most faithful of supporters all show up over here to the Patreon page, baby. Yes, patreon.com/NB9ERS. Again, that is patreon.com/NB9ERS. Big Tony, how you feeling over there, man? What's going on with you?
Good, man. They started off shaky. First half, no bueno. They came out in the second half. I was like, here they are. They woke up. They made their halftime adjustments. They came out looking good, more traditional look on the offensive side of the ball. The defense was playing good. And then all of a sudden, the fourth quarter comes and the defense can't cover anymore. Now, the reasoning behind that, I don't know. It didn't look like it was a big issue or a very creative design by Mike McCarthy in the offense. It just looked like, again, blown assignments in the secondary. Well, he was wide open. Those two touchdowns, he was
the second
wild.
one was the second was a blown like that was creative. Like they just ran straight across the they found the soft spot in the zone and then threw it to him when he got there. Like it
was just a crossing. All it was he crossed the formation. He just kept running. But
once
the problem
he realized he was in a soft.
There's no communication. You got to pass that off through the zone.
That part, yeah. I'm
so
not mad at that.
You know what I'm saying? That's coaching, and
yeah.
You know,
we're gonna hear from Kyle Shanahan. Tony, you want to do the victory shots now, and then stick with me. We'll get here's the options we got. We got to do victory shots. We got to hear from Kyle, and then you and I are going to do our full breakdown, right? The two options are this. We can do victory shots, get everybody out of here, then hear from Kyle, then we do our breakdowns. Or we can hear from Kyle, do victory shots, and then do our breakdowns. But I don't want to keep you too long. I don't know what your day looks like tomorrow, so I got to hear from you, man. How do you want to do it?
I guess do whatever you want. Do the victory shots, get it done, and then that's it.
All right.
I'm not taking anything though.
All right. Well, so we're gonna have to ignore Tony for the victory shots.
I have a coffee, so
there you go. All right. So we're gonna do the victory shots thing, guys. I am going to post the link in just about 1.5 seconds. Okay. You guys get in here. Try not to join for victory shot. Hold on. Here we go. Join for victory shots. I don't know why this isn't in here. All right. Boom. There's the link. Oh, shit. I posted it in the wrong thing. That is not what I was supposed to put it in as a comment. I put it in the room. Hold on. Tony's falling asleep already, guys. He thinks he's going to make it for victory shots. All right. So, listen. They said they can't hear me.
No, because when you were leaning forward, you were past the mic.
Oh, yeah. No, that's fine. You guys aren't supposed to hear me when I'm past the mic. That's cool. All right, so here is the link for the victory shots. You guys click, join. All right, let's get in here. Let's do this. This is how it's going to work for the people with the victory shots. We got a lot to get to. It's a late night. This is not the normal 4 o'clock game. Both of us are on the East Coast. We got work in the morning. You guys, we're going to take the victory shot, and then after the victory shot, hear me clearly, after the victory shot, you guys get one comment, and I'm letting you go. Don't be offended by it. You guys know I love you. You guys know I fuck with y'all. But we're going to take a victory shot. Then you guys are out of here. Dan, I know you got your poem. I'll bring you on as the last person to do the victory shot so you could do your poem. Then Tony and I are going to get to the Kyle Shanahan presser, and then we'll get out of here, okay? So, guys, there's the link. Click the link for the victory shots. Let's have a good time here. I'm going to let y'all know right now, I poured 4 shots into this glass right here. It's 4 shots. I can't do much more than that tonight, guys. I shouldn't be doing 4 if I'm being honest with you guys. I got to be to work in the morning. I got interviews to do. I'm going to be doing interviews with alcohol in my breath. It's not a good thing. Nelly is in the building. Hello, Nelly. All right, so let's get everybody in here. Tony, fix your face, bro. All right, here we go. Let's get this border off. Let's start bringing everybody in. I see Dan. I see Daddy P. I see Aaron. I see 49er Jeff. I see my man Mike. Mike, don't go anywhere. You were staying on with me and Tony for the whole show, okay? You were staying on with me and Tony for the whole show. All right, Mike is going to be the one guest that we keep on for the rest of the night. All right, this is how we're going to do it. I'm going to pop you guys up. Actually, you know what? First, we'll do it all like this. Everybody get those victory shots ready. Y'all ready? Nobody else is joining. Going once. Going twice. Nah. Hold on. I got to change something up.
Where's Melissa?
Well, Melissa's put comments in saying everybody enjoy their night, so I don't think she's joining this evening.
Oh.
She put the comments in. I think she even sent me a text message.
Oh.
All right. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to get my comment here that says victory shots. Where's my comment at? Where's my comment? I got a victory shot comment. It's got a couple shot glasses next to it. Where is it? God, there's way too. Oh, here it is. All right. Scrolling across the bottom of the screen there. It was. All right, there it is. All right, guys, hold those victory shots up. Here we go. After we take one of these, what we're going to do is I'm going to prop you guys up one at a time in the window. You guys give your thoughts in the game, and then I'm going to say thank you, and I'm going right to the next person, okay? Don't take it personal. I will do another show tomorrow night, and then you guys can come on and really, really vent, okay? I'll pop everybody in here, and I'll give you guys the floor. We could talk for 20 minutes each if you want. Won't rush you guys out of here tomorrow night. But tonight, we got work in the morning. We got to be responsible adults, especially here on the East Coast, all right? Hold those victory shots up. Y'all ready? Hold on. Where's my damn robe? Uh-oh. Here it is. I want y'all to see me and see me clear, baby. See me clear, baby. Huh? Here we go. Hold them up towards the cameras, through the lips and past the gums. Watch out, tummy. Here it comes. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Ooh. All right. The Niners go out there and handle business against these punk-ass Dallas. Let me tell y'all something, man. There's no win like a win against the Cowboys, man. Like it is like almost second to none, but it's all good. I'm going to start with my man Aaron tonight. Aaron, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go ahead. Let's get my man Aaron in here. Come on, switch. Grab Aaron and slide him over to the. Can y'all see Aaron yet? There he is. There he is.
Hey, what's
Aaron,
going on, guys?
what's going on, big
Hey,
dog? Talk to us, man. How you feeling?
doing good, doing good. Being from West Texas, man. Watching a Cowboys game against the Niners, always a blessed day when the Niners win. Also, National Tight Ends Day. Let's go, George Kittle.
Yes, huh? And George Kittle got in that pay dirt too, man. He got a couple of big catches, got in the
Hey,
end zone.
and number 500.
Catch number 500. I think that put him on like 6 all time.
I think it's 5th all time. But yeah.
That's crazy. Yo, did you see the gap between Jerry Rice and T.O.? Like, did you see how it was like 700 something catches, bro?
Yeah, that was
Jerry
nuts.
Rice should be ashamed of himself for the way he shattered franchise. Right? No one's ever going to get close to that shit, bro. That is crazy.
No, that is nuts. That is nuts. That's crazy.
Give us
I appreciate you.
give us your biggest takeaway, and then I'll let you go.
Wow, man, the National Tight Ends Day, man. You got over 100 yards, good touchdown by George Kittle, showing that he's got to lead these youngsters
Yeah,
and show them the ropes on how to get open, how to catch the ball, how to
yeah,
play tough.
absolutely love it,
And
man.
he does it.
Aaron, man, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Hopefully, I see you tomorrow, where we get to
Yeah,
shed a little bit more light on the show. Okay.
right on, man.
All
You
right,
have
my
a
man
blessed one.
Aaron's out of
Well,
here.
I'll be in the
Daddy,
chat.
thank you, sir. Daddy P, you're up next. Big dog, what's going on, man? How you feeling?
I'm good, family. What's going on, everybody?
What's going on, man? Give us your biggest thoughts from the game, man. I know you got a lot of them, but you got to try to give me the biggest one. And tomorrow we'll have that dialogue that we normally have on the overreaction shows. I got you.
Penalties, 14-point swing. That was the only major problem we had in the entire game. One touchdown called back by penalties. One drive that was definitely potentially at least 3 points. But I'm gonna go ahead and say 7 because the offense was running really well, passing well. Brock had 3 very uncharacteristic passes. The one behind Deebo, the one where he had to reach back, the deep pass to Deebo where he reached back over the defender's shoulder to catch the ball. I think another one to Pearsall. Uh, but overall, the offense played really well. It looked more efficient than it has looked. More play action. Uh,
In the second half, yes.
right. But that first half, all them penalties, it was killing us. And
I'll
then
tell you this
on defense as well.
on the penalty point that you got, and I'll let you respond to this too. It almost cost us another 7 points because George Kittle's touchdown, they threw 2 flags on
Right.
that play, and they said they decided that Conley, I believe it was Conley. No, who's 18? That is Conley. Yeah.
Howard. Yeah.
No. Cowing is wearing Deebo's old number, 19 or something like that. It was number 18, and he had dreads. I'm pretty sure that was Conley. They decided that the defender blocked him into the other guy. They were calling he was blocking before the ball was thrown, and you can't do that. It's illegal contact by the offense. But they picked up
Right.
the flag and allowed Kittle's touchdown to stand. So I mean, we almost had 3 penalties that cost points or gave points to the opposing team,
Right.
man.
And that
So
was a good no call because that was clearly the case in that situation. He didn't engage the defender. The defender engaged him.
and while
So
we on the penalty thing, man, how did they miss the fair catch call and they kicked my man right in the knee, bro? How they miss that? What are the
no,
officials looking at if not the return guy that calls for fair catch? How do
right,
they
because
miss
you
it?
saw his leg clearly move from the kick, right? So
Come
it
on,
was
bro.
clear indication that he was hit. They're
Yeah,
gonna miss something. We know it. We know they're gonna miss some. They're gonna miss some on purpose to keep games close. But we came out with the dub, and that's all that matters. Even though if we clean up those penalties, and that's all I really had to say about this game. We clean up those penalties. This is a 44 to a really 17 game because
right.
those penalties hurt the defense. in cases, put them back on the field quicker, and that gave them the opportunity to wear them down, to come down quick and make those scores. And then the defensive penalties as well that helped them out on some drives. So it was the penalty. Clean that up, and this is a very efficient game overall if you get rid of the penalties.
Yeah, I like everything that you're saying here, big dog, man. Thank you so much, man. The penalties, it was definitely not a perfect game, and I won't ignore the errors that we saw in this game by any means, and I'll get into it a little bit more as the night goes on. But Daddy P, man, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. All right,
For sure.
be safe out there, big dog. I'll see you in the chat. All right.
All right, go Niners.
Go Niners, baby. 49er Jeff, you were up. You were the man next at the podium, man. What's going on, big dog?
What's up, man? How's everything going?
I'm blessed, brother. How about you? I'm hearing
good,
some
man.
crazy feedback, so I'm going to go on mute while you're talking.
No complaints, man. I'm happy we got the win. You know, the bye is here. We need to rest. Much needed bye, man. Because we're hurt, man. We're injured, man. And we need to get a couple things together. But I'll take the win. Definitely take the win. So going into the bye with a win, we're 4-4. And we got to just stay faithful, man.
You know the crazy part after this, man? We're 4-4. We got 9 games left, and I easily see the Niners winning 6 of these joints, bro. That's 10 wins right there. Is that enough to get us to the postseason, you think?
Of course. Definitely. That's it. We got to make it to the next season. That's it. To the next round of the playoffs, and we'll be good, man. CMC should be coming back, right? These injuries is killing us too. You know, Mason didn't come back in the game. Deebo look hurt again. So I don't know, man. The penalties, I don't like that ref either. That ref, every time he referees our game, it's a problem. What's his name? I don't even know that guy's name.
Mike, we can't hear you.
Bill Vinovich. Learn the name, know the name, because he's going to be back. I want Melissa to come back, and I want my man Ben Michelle to come back. I don't know where Ben went. Ben, come back in here. Click the link again. I'll add you back in here. My bad, bro. I'm going to add you and Melissa. But Bill Vinovich is definitely going to cost us later on. So, you know, it was rough out there, Jeff. Anything else before I get on to the next one?
Nah, that's it, man. Let's just stay faithful, man. You know, one game at a time. Let's stay faithful, though.
There you go. We got back to some basics tonight. It looked good. So thank you very much, Jeff. I salute you, and I'll see you in the chat, brother. Be safe. All right, we're gonna bring Melissa to the stage now, and I got my man Ben. He's added in here too. Melissa and Ben, for y'all, no pressure. Nobody has to take another shot, but I'm gonna do it again because we got Ben and Melissa in here. I'll say the poem and everything one more time. Hold those glasses towards the camera, through the lips and past the gums. Watch out, tummy. Here it comes. Come on. All right. Melissa, the floor is yours.
I was trying to ask you earlier if we could get the horns for Jair Brown, a player that certain people...
Yeah.
Certain people were talking shit about Jair Brown, saying that he was a bomb, saying that jerseys don't need to be off this team because we didn't need him. I don't know, Mike. Maybe I'm biased because I'm from Jersey, but I kind of think that he changed things on defense today.
I'm with you. Jair Brown was out there doing his thing. I think he had an interception in this game, right?
Yep, the first one.
He had the first pick of the game, man. You know the one thing I didn't like, I know while we were on the turnover thing, they forced 2 fumbles and let the Cowboys recover them both. Like what how don't we get those balls back, Melissa? Like we're men. Why can't we grab our balls, man? What's going on?
You know what the difference is? There's no Drake Greenlow there to give Fred Warner a hard time. Because when Greenlow was there, Mike, it was a competition between the two of them about PBUs and turnovers and interceptions and sacks and tackles, and it was like that whole thing that we used to talk about with Tart and Ward. They brought out the best in each other.
Yeah,
And they didn't play the same when the other one was out. It's just like there's this thing where it's not that Fred's bad. It's just that he doesn't play the same when Dre's not out there to light a fire under his ass.
So speaking of Dre Greenlaw, I saw this little interview that was Lenore. Did you see this? It was Lenore and
I think it was
Brown. And they were talking about like people's energy that they miss, and they were like, "Yo, not for nothing, Fred Warner's the man, but Dre Greenlaw really sets the tone, and he brings that energy." I've been telling you that for years.
Yes. And you know what? People give me the side eye. They're like, "Okay, crazy girl, like calm it down a bunch." But I kid you not when I say that man is the heart and soul of that defense. It's not a hyperbole. That's not to say he's the best player. That's not to say that he's the best technical player, but there's just something about Dre Greenlaw that lights a fire under every player on defense and on offense.
Yes,
like
yes, he does.
Going back to the Herbert game where he had the quarterback rolled up into him and he was ejected. Do you remember how hard they came out after that?
I do.
Like while he was waving down the fans and like he was being nice about it and he wasn't like throwing a hissy fit about it. Like they just played different after that. The same thing with the Eagles game. Like even when he's not part of the game, things are different. And it's just, Mike, did you see that a couple of weeks ago that they actually penalized him for breaking up a fight on the sidelines?
Oh no! He pushed the shit out of somebody. He should have got a flag for that. Listen, I'm a Niners fan. I love seeing it. Like, yeah, stand up for our people. But bro, you are not dressed. You're not don't touch anybody. Like he knows. He knows. He's lucky that the league didn't say, hey, like you're suspended.
You're gonna get suspended. Yeah, I know.
So we dodged a bullet. I'm saying we dodged a bullet. The team got fined. He got fined. But he's got to reel it in just a little bit, man. Like he is a player true and through. He represents the fabric of what this defense is supposed to be, and that's that Robert Saleh mentality, that all gas and no brakes, and that swarming mentality. He went right for where the action was on the sideline. So, we love Dre. We appreciate what Dre does, but he's got to learn to reel it in at times. And even when he's not a part of the game, he's affecting the game. So he's got to keep that in mind, absolutely. Melissa, do you have anything else before I get Ben in here?
I got a few quick things, and I'll make it real quick because I know you don't want to have everyone lingering around. Because it's late. So I wanted to say happy Halloween to everybody. To enjoy the bye week. I want to say thank you to Mike Andrews because I've made it now to another holiday with me and my dogs intact, and it's been a hard struggle this year, especially. But Mike, it's 5 years later?
Come on.
I thought that Christmas with you, the first year in 2020, that was it for me and them. And you've helped keep me sane, and so I gotta celebrate with you. I've been sick all week, but I was like, you know what? If this gets pulled together, I would like just even 5 seconds with Mike would be fine. That's all I need is 5 seconds.
And you're talking about being sick all week, so the reason the show took so long to start. I heard
the sneezing fit.
Yo, I don't know if any of you guys have ever gone through this before. I couldn't stop sneezing for about 10 minutes in my house. I don't know. My wife was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Babe, I don't know what just happened."
Mike,
I couldn't stop sneezing.
It was so bad. I think I've lost 3 pounds just from sneezing for the last couple of weeks. Like, it's been that bad.
I don't know. Maybe I
don't know what it is, but I love you. I love Tony. I love your families. Just grateful for everyone to come out and support everybody because it's not easy, and I know you have like 1,000 different channels you can tune into. So whoever rocks with Nothing But Niners, you're real ones, and we always appreciate you. And Mike Andrews, you deserve credit because you were the one person when Adam Peters left that said, "Calm down. John Lynch has this," and boy, did he knock it out with this rookie class.
Oh, let's.
Come on, Mike.
Go, baby.
Let's
go, baby. I told y'all we're going to see what John Lynch is really about. Let's go, man.
Mike, I got to give you props all the way up because you know what? You were the one calm voice, and a lot of people give you crap about being the psycho guy that has his conspiracy theories and starts trauma. But, underneath it all, it's just a really diehard, true believer fan that will always have your back. And that is why we tune in, and that is why we love you.
Thank you so much, Melissa. We appreciate you. We're going to catch you soon, okay? Be back tomorrow, okay? If you can.
I will.
All right.
Sick or not, I promise I will mute myself if I'm sneezing.
All right.
I will be here.
All right. Ben, you're up next. Melissa, thank you so much for joining. My man Ben, what's going on, big dog?
What's going on, big dog?
Come on,
I'm
man.
glad we got this dub. Let's go, baby.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Right before you. Oh, see, that was a whisper yell. I know what a whisper yell is. Like you got people over or something.
I got people over asleep already. You know how it is here on the East Coast. Everybody be asleep and you're trying to be quiet, but you still stoke.
Come on,
so it's like let's go.
Right. We needed this win before the bye week, and the Niners, we know what they do after the bye. They get busy, baby. We needed this one. Huh?
Facts.
That's 2 wins in the NFC now, right? That's 2 wins in the NFC. We needed this one right here. The Cowboys had an opportunity. If they had won this game, they would have had as many wins as the Niners did, and we would have been sitting here looking like lost puppies. But
exactly. But the only way
found a way.
Is now up.
There you go, man. We went through the basement. We went through the floor. We weathered the storm with putting in the rookies and with putting in the inexperienced players and all that stuff. And here we are, 500. We're 4-4. We going into the bye week, and now it's second half time. This is the first half. We went through the first half and we emerged 500.
Yeah.
Right? So, now it's time for us to really find our groove. They're saying, the rumors are, Christian McCaffrey's going to come back. We know that Deebo had the little rib injury, didn't do much in the second half. We saw Ricky Pearsall emerging, man. Ben, you give me your major takeaway from this one. We're going to move on so we can go ahead and get to Dan, and then Mike is going to rock out with us for the rest of the show. Me, Tony, Mike are going to finish this one up, but give us your biggest takeaways from this game, man.
My biggest takeaways was Garendo. I got to give that boy props. Like, I understand Mason is the number 2 guy, but just the way he held the ball, wasn't phased, kept pushing, trying to go for those yards more and more. I don't know. Something about these rookies are stepping up when they're realizing the team's hurting, that we need to bounce back and it's time to step up. We're doing something right.
You know what Garendo did tonight that made me like him even more?
What?
2 weeks now. Well, 2 times in a row, he had an opportunity to score a touchdown and went down in bounds so the clock could keep running. Forget scoring for just 1 second. And I know that there were people like, oh, why didn't he score? Matter of fact, during the Patreon, Tony was like, oh, why didn't he go in? Why didn't he score? Why didn't he score? Right? But it's like, forget that. Keep the clock running. Even if you just take off another 30 seconds.
Exactly.
It's 30 seconds less that the Cowboys have an opportunity for an onside kick. We know how our special teams has been. Don't leave it in the hands of the other 2 phases of the game. Don't leave it up to the defense. Don't leave it up to the special teams.
Play smart football.
I thought that was the most selfless football I had seen by a 49ers player in a very long time, and this guy's just a rookie. I think he deserves a round of applause.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm going to give it to him. Let's go. Let's freaking go, man. Isaac Garendo, rookie so far. Come on, man. Making a name for himself. All right, man. Anything else before we let you go, Ben? Thank you so much.
All I want to say is thank you for having the channel up, keeping the rhythm. I know how Melissa was even saying, too, people are like, oh, Mike, he's crazy and everything like that. I don't know. I love your vibe, Mike. Seriously. The Super Bowl, people are like, oh, dissing on him. Oh, yeah, Mike's going crazy over there. You got to have that feeling. You got to have that, that proudness when your team's in the trenches, when they're going down, when they're up, whatever. Mike has it all. And if you're watching Nothing But Niners and you're subscribed, enjoy it. We're going to ride these wheels until they fall off, and we're still going to be Niner faithful.
Damn right.
Bigs up to Dan, Tony, Mike, and you, big dog. You guys have a good one.
You too, brother.
And let's just keep going up. Let's get that dub.
We appreciate you, man. Be safe out there, all right? We'll see you tomorrow, okay?
Definitely. Cheers, you guys.
All right. That's my man Ben right there. All right, Dan, you know what time it is. Now, Dan, you had this like bold proclamation very, very early. I believe I saw it in the halftime show that you had the poem damn near ready then. I saw the comment.
So no. I wrote that in your pregame show. I said I already have verses ready. I said I have verses ready.
Oh yes.
Now to be honest, I got rid of some of those verses because because a lot of them I realized should probably be about the team and not digs at Dak Prescott. Because that's what a lot of them were. They were most of them were digs at Dak Prescott, so I had to get rid of them. And I had to put more in. You know how I feel about Dak.
I'm hoping I still hear some digs at Dak, but if not, it's cool. I understand. But I mean, against us, it's fuck Dak, right? Come on.
Yeah, we all know that, but that was what I did last year. Last year with the first poem I did, it was all about Dak. I figured this time I've been making it about the 49ers.
All right. Well, let's see what you got, man. The floor is yours. I'm ready. I'm going on mute.
All right, this one's called They Ain't Them Boys. In Santa Clara, the lights shone bright as the 49ers faced the Cowboys' might. A clash of titans, the crowd roared loud. With hope and pride, they gathered proud. Brock Purdy, the maestro, took to the field. With a swift pass at his legs, he wielded. One through the air, one with his feet. A quarterback's dance, both agile and fleet. On tight end day, Kittle shone. With hands like glue, he claimed the zone. A touchdown for him, a spark in the game. In the heart of the Niners, forever his name. The defense fierce, held strong at the brink. As the Cowboys charged, on victory they'd wink. With grit and resolve, they stood their ground. In the face of the pressure, their strength was found. 30-24, the final score glowed. As the faithful cheered, their spirits flowed. In the heart of the game, the lessons were clear. With teamwork and courage, they conquered the fear. So here's to the Niners in red and gold pride, a victory earned with hearts open wide. Against the fierce Cowboys, they rose above in the spirit of football, united in love.
Yes, I love it, baby. I love it, baby. And they looking for it out there, man. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Come on. Dan, come on, man. Talk to me, man. Talk to me. We saw the second half. We saw the adjustments. Do you feel like we saw enough that makes you believe the Niners can make a run for the postseason in the second half of the season?
I think we have an easy enough schedule that we can definitely make a run for the postseason. At this point, it feels like every week we're gonna have, and I'm big on the injuries. Every week it feels like we're gonna have some sort of new injury. We gotta take this one game at a time. Seriously, we cannot look too far ahead of ourselves because, look, we almost did it tonight. We almost did it tonight in some areas in that fourth quarter. Even I was looking ahead. I was streaming. I was sitting over, I took my one of my propels over here, and I kind of just leaned back, and I was kind of enjoying myself. But when the Cowboys scored those 2 touchdowns, I was like, uh-oh, this could get dangerous really quickly. And so I was like, I had to sit back up, and I had to go through all the motions again of, is this a Rams game? Is this a Cardinals game situation again? I don't want that, but we had to, we got it. So it's the Cowboys. I should have known they weren't gonna do that eventually. It's the Cowboys.
Yeah. Dan, do you have any photo editing apps or anything like that over there?
No. Why?
So Big Daddy says here, he says, "Hey Dan, I love your poems, man. Have you ever thought about framing those poems and even trying to send some to Niners so they can post in their locker rooms? I'm assuming your poems from you. They're awesome, bro."
Huh. I didn't think about that.
So imagine getting a
I
picture.
have a few of them that I wasn't able to that I didn't write on paper that I put in my Discord. That I just typed them on my computer, and then I copied and pasted them, put them in my Discord. So I have a few of them.
So maybe
I think I even have one from when we beat the Packers last year, the playoffs.
Maybe you got to get a little picture, put up all right. So you see my background, right? Like George with the fuck Dallas shirt in the background, right?
Yeah.
And then just put the poem over his torso in white, so people can see it, or whatever color is gonna work with.
I'll think about that.
Yeah. So just something to leave out there, post it on social media, get some retweets and all that stuff. You know what I mean? It'll be cool, man. So just something to think about going forward in the future. All right.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's a good idea.
All right. So
I will definitely do that.
Are you going to be on tomorrow night's show, Dan?
It depends upon what time it starts at, because I'm probably going to get off work about 9 Central tomorrow. That's probably when I'm going to get off. I don't know when you're starting it or whatnot, so it's gonna really depend upon, because I got class in the morning, got to go to class, and then basically immediately after that, jump in my car, go to work, and then come home.
I feel you.
I can't stay up too late because then I gotta head to FedEx in the morning and then do their
It's all good.
thing. Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, we do
Yeah.
get to hear from Dan. Get these poems on some graphics.
Yeah.
And get them out there, man. So if you want to send them to me, the written form of them, maybe I can even try to make some graphics or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we'll see what we can come up with. But they definitely deserve some shine, man, because you've been doing your thing. You've been holding us down.
Yeah. Well,
All
thank
right.
you. Yeah.
But listen, man, Dan, we love you, man. We appreciate you, and we're gonna keep the show going, man. Thank you so much.
Before I go, I was gonna
Absolutely.
ask you. So I created a Discord server, and I have like 4 people in it. It's basically supposed to be about the 49ers. Basically, what it would allow people to do is allow people to put their content creations and such on there. Basically, all of that. If I put a link, if I give you like the server link to you, the private chat, would you put it in the
Come
like
on,
the?
bro. Absolutely.
All
I'll
right.
share that shit.
All right,
Come
give
on,
me
man.
one.
Put it in the private chat. Put it in the main chat, and I'll click it so that way people can see it. I mean, let's use the Discord for what it is, man. It's something that Dan is saying is going to be a platform for all. All right, so that's what we want to see. Go ahead and drop that thing
All right,
in there.
I dropped it there. If you want, it should go to.
Oh shit! I see it. 49er fan club server. Oh
Yep,
yeah,
that's it.
I see you, baby. I see you, baby. All right, let me copy this, and then what I want you to do is, like I said, put it in the comments. We'll click it. Put something like join the Discord, blah 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 blah, and then I'll click the thing in there as well so everyone can see it. All right.
All right. Yeah.
All right, Dan. You be safe out there. All right.
All right. Thank you, Mike.
All right. No problem. Peace out, big dog. All right. All right. These are my guys right here that rock with me for Patreon. Does anybody want to speak before we hear from Kyle? Tony, we got your forehead in the view. Mike, we got you in here. Do you guys want to say anything before we hear from Kyle right now?
I'm good. I'm ready for Kyle.
All right. So then we're not going to waste any time, man. We're going to get Kyle in here. We're going to see what Kyle has to say about this game. All right. And then we're going to rock out for the rest of the show. So let's bring Kyle in here. There he is. Let's hear what head coach Kyle Shanahan has to say about this game.
Came out really well in the third quarter. So is there anything?
Stop having penalties. Stop having penalties. There was no message. It was we got to stop hurting ourselves. We had I think 7.5 yards of play in the first half, and
where's the injuries, Mike?
Big penalties that I thought really hurt us. Deebo's obvious one getting called back. A couple of the.
That's where it starts. So they skipped it.
Stop having penalties. Stop having penalties. There was no message. It was we got to stop hurting ourselves. We had I think 7.5 yards of play in the first half, and had a bunch of big penalties that I thought really hurt us. Deebo's obvious one getting called back. A couple of the holdings on some long runs, and then missing that fourth down was big. We felt we were doing some good stuff, but we hurt ourselves, and it was nice to start off in the third quarter and go down and score right away. And D started rolling. I think we got a turnover the next drive, and got on a little groove there for a little bit.
When they were coming back into
big. I mean, when you're up 17 or whatever it was, 13, and then take it to a 6-point game and you're getting the ball with 3 minutes left. I mean, that's just normal football. And for the D to struggle for a couple series like they did, and then when they got it back for a possible game-winning drive to go 4 and out was huge.
You know what? Here we go. This is what we'll do. I'll do this one. This one has the injuries, okay? Here we go.
From the game, J.P. Mason had a shoulder, did not return, the same one. D. Winters had a concussion, didn't return. Deebo Samuel, ribs, didn't return. Renardo Green, ankle, didn't return. Go ahead.
What did you think of Garendo? He hadn't played a whole lot. He had 6 yards of carry tonight.
I thought he did a great job. Came in, he was ready to go. JP got banged up. JP tried to come back and maybe could have, but Isaac was rolling and did a good job.
What was that halftime?
Tony, did you get your answer for the injuries?
Yeah, I read something about Green.
Oh, so he didn't say it though. I didn't hear him
He
say
said
anything
Green?
about Green. He did?
Yeah, he said his ankle.
Yeah,
he said Green ankle.
From the game, JP Mason had a shoulder, did not return, the same one. D. Winters had a concussion, didn't return.
Wait. Who had a concussion?
NB9ers had a concussion, didn't return. Deebo Samuel, ribs, didn't return. Renardo Green, ankle, didn't return. Go ahead.
What do you think of Garendo? Hadn't played a whole lot. He had 6 yards of carry tonight.
I thought he did a great job. Came in, he was ready to go. JP got banged up. JP tried to come back and maybe could have, but Isaac was rolling and did a good job.
What was the halftime message? You guys obviously came out really well in the third quarter, so was there anything?
Stop having penalties. Stop having penalties. There was no message. It was we got to stop hurting ourselves. We had I think 7.5 yards of play in the first half, and had a bunch of big penalties that I thought really hurt us. Deebo's obvious one getting called back, a couple of the holdings on some long runs, and then missing that fourth down was big. We felt we were doing some good stuff, but we hurt ourselves, and it was nice to start off in the third quarter and go down and score right away. And D started rolling. I think we got a turnover the next drive and did it again, and got on a little groove there for a little bit.
What was your concern level there in the fourth quarter when they were coming back? And
big. I mean, when you're up 17 or whatever it was, 13, and then take it to a 6-point game and you're getting the ball with 3 minutes left. I mean, that's just normal football. And for the D to struggle for a couple series like they did, and then when they got it back for a possible game-winning drive to go 4 and out was huge.
What was so special about this play in the second half? And do you think this was a sign of things to come after the bye?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I think it was a gut check for him. I mean, for all of us, things in the first half, we were close, but it didn't go great. Brock, there's a couple plays I know he'd love to have back, and I thought he came out in the second half, and there's a few plays that weren't there, and he did a hell of a job extending with his feet. The one in particular, we were trying to throw a screen at Deebo, and the DN peeled with it, and which means you have no play, and he just ran and turned it into a 16-yarder. So he did some real big things there in the second half.
You're just like we said about the red zone issues in recently. Of course, the 49ers came out with a lot of poise on those drives and scored 24 unanswered points. Talk about how they were able to solve those red zone issues.
I mean, it was just one game. It's a long year. We'll see where we end up in the red zone at the end of the year, but I thought we ran the ball much better down there, and that helps.
You're just coming off of this, McCall. You're 4-4 going into the bye. Can you assess how these first 8 games have gone and what you see, coming up in the second half?
I could maybe do that for you tomorrow. I'm just thinking about this game right now, but I'm glad, you always go into a season, you expect to win them all. So you're not exactly where you want to be, but going into this game, we knew this was a big win. We didn't want to be 3-5 going into the bye week, having your backs against the wall like that. Getting that win was huge, being 4-4. Not at all the record that we wanted when we set out. But when you look at our division and everything, feeling a real good spot, and especially finishing it here with a win. Hopefully we can take some time off, rest a little bit, get a couple guys back hopefully, and come back and string some wins together here in the second half.
Since he was a rookie.
What is it about him that can... Okay, go ahead, Jerry.
Since he was...
All right. While they argue about who's going to ask the question to Kyle, I thought about something. For 2 years in a row, when the schedule comes out and all, the Niners are favored in every single game. Are we one of the worst teams against the spread because we don't win them all? Like if you're the team that is favored in every single game, every loss is gonna look really bad against the spread. Are we a bad team against the spread? And you guys take yourselves off mute and answer. I mean, let's go with Tony, then we'll go with Mike. What do you guys think? Because it's gotta do something with Vegas like this. I think Vegas makes a lot of money off of the Niners because we're favored in every single game that we go into, and we clearly aren't going, 34-0 in 2 seasons. Like that's wild. Why do they do that to the Niners? Like why is it that the line setters, the people who come up with the spread and all, can't figure out that the Niners should not be favored in every single game?
I have no clue. I don't know how they figured that shit out. Honestly, to be honest with you, it's a freaking work of art the way they know it and how close they come. Clearly, they know what they're doing because they know, where they see that they're going to make a killing on a line for a game. Like Niners last week were 2.5 or 3.5 point favorites at home versus the Chiefs. That screams back Kansas City. I would have took Kansas City with the money line. But when you look at the money line and you look at the line, do you look at the money line and you look at the points? The money line, usually it's like a plus, 220 plus 260. The money line was barely even, I think, last week with Kansas City. So they know they're playing a game. I don't know how they do it. It's just amazing on how they do it and how they figure it out.
The Niners are the only team, and I do a lot of the betting and all that stuff. The Niners are the only team that I would not be comfortable using the spread to calculate wins and losses. I would just have to do the money line, just straight up winner or loser, because there's no way to truly call it. I mean, every game that we lost, obviously, the money line would have been. I mean, the going against the spread is going to be a loss. So,
well, a true point spread. If you're a home favorite, it's a 3-point. It's a 3-point. They set you as a home favorite as 3 points because the home field advantage. When you start seeing 1.5, they're saying that the home field advantage ain't gonna make a difference, and you shouldn't. They're baiting you, like almost. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. It's fucking crazy.
Mike, what do you think about all this, man? I just feel like Vegas is like really screwing the Niners here. I think Vegas makes a lot of money on Niners games.
It's probably smart for them because they know that the Niners don't win a lot of blowout games. It's a lot of our games are so close that if we're given the points, then even if we win, it's still a loss.
Right.
In that regard.
Interesting.
At least that's how I look at it.
No, I'm with you, man. I'm right there with you. All right, let's hear what the coach has to say about the rest of it all.
What is it about him that can? Okay, go ahead, Jerry.
Since he was a rookie, and
That was nice.
Is there anything he does that surprises you? And isn't he, in your mind, still an ascending player?
Kittle? I mean, Kittle's the man. So, especially on his holiday, usually he does better. But there's a couple of things in the first half, and just like Brock, that he missed. A couple he would have loved to have back, and he came back in the second half and just played as good as you can.
Going back to Garendo, I'm taking this one. Going back to Garendo, what do you think? What do you attribute kind of his surge of confidence to in the last several weeks? Because there's certainly been a marked difference in how he's been running.
I think he's learned from each run he's gotten. There's a couple runs earlier in the year that he did all right on, but we grade him pretty hard, everybody pretty hard, and he had a couple 4-yard runs we thought he could have got 7 yards on. We go pretty hard on him, and then you watch how he takes that to practice. And everything we've really kind of been pushing him with, he's been real coachable. He's not a sensitive guy. He's real detailed, and he's very poised for a rookie. Things aren't too big for him, and didn't get a lot of preseason, but once he got healthy there and throughout this year, I feel he's gotten better each week.
On that Kittle question, as you draw up a game plan with receivers hurt like you have, how comforting is it sort of to have a tight end like that who's been so reliable for so long and obviously has a rapport with Brock?
It's very comfortable. I mean, it was a challenge, losing some of these guys, losing BA last week and not having Juwan, Deebo being a little banged up and then not having him there late in the game. You need everyone to step up, and I thought a lot of guys did, and Kittle did in a huge way.
Rendo, Pearsall, a big third down catch. You're playing Mustafa, you're playing Green, you got obviously Pooney. In the middle of the game or even after, does it hit you like, my God, this rookie class, if you didn't have them, something else would be happening this season?
I think about that a lot during the week. I mean, that's who we're practicing a lot with during the week. We went into this year, we thought it'd be real hard for a lot of the rookies to earn starting positions, just where our team was at. But we believed that they were going to give us some real good depth. And you hope to have some good luck and stuff and not have to get to that. But we haven't in all areas. And unfortunately, that a lot of those guys are players. They showed it in preseason. And when their number's been called, they've all come in and done their job. And they all continue to get better, too.
What happened on the sack when you're up 6, sack on the last or second to last drive for you guys? What happened on that play, and how impressive was it for Brock to be able to hold on?
Oh, on the one that he got sacked on? Oh yeah, they had everyone up at the line of scrimmage, so we had a can, which is just how we get out of plays. audible, which he had Ricky all wide open, but the guy in the line of scrimmage hit it so hard and he couldn't get it off. So it was really an unbelievable play by Brock not fumbling.
How big of a threat is Brock as a scrambler, and what does that aspect of his game add to the offense?
It just adds another tool. I mean, it's really tough, the heat of battle, just with all those plays and situations that, you get sometimes where if the guys aren't open and things that the play's over, or just when someone, misses in the pocket and someone gets there, it usually ends fast. But Brock's got the quickness to get away from people. He's got to kind of feel and when to hit it. And he was awesome today with his scrambling, and he's been awesome all year with it.
Deebo's ribs and Renardo's ankle, do you have any indication of how serious they are yet?
I don't.
There was some discussion in Seattle if Garendo actually meant to slide. He maintained, of course, he did. But obviously, there's no doubt on this one. I guess, do you agree with that? And it's pretty heads up for a rookie.
Yeah, we told him on this one. Yeah. But he listened at least. It's hard to turn that down when you're running in, and I'm glad he did it for the second time. But this one was much better.
Deebo obviously had a big role in this game. When did you know that he could handle a big role given what he went through?
Watching him it wasn't necessarily the big. I didn't really know he could have a big role until really talking to him Saturday. But the fact he was able to come out and practice some on Thursday, and do some back-to-back plays and stuff, just seeing how it was. And when you hear that stuff at the beginning of the week and pneumonia and things like that, it's my mind is kind of ruled out. But when they started working him out on Tuesday and said he had a chance, and that he got through practice to a degree on Thursday, and by the time Saturday came, he said he was feeling great, and we still rotated him a lot and stuff, but we want to get the ball in his hands.
What was your message to the team going into the bye week?
That'll probably be tomorrow. Going into the bye week will be Monday and Tuesday. I'll have a message for him, but I haven't thought of it yet. It'll be to rest and come back ready to go.
Just curious, he asked about the halftime speech. Did you overhear any of the leaders on the team in the locker room saying anything? You guys, it's a game. You guys know where you are record-wise. Did anybody say anything or no?
No, honestly, people never do. That's more for movies. We only have a few minutes in there, and guys break up into their stuff, and we review everything that's happened, everything that's going forward, and usually it's hectic and kind of a something show.
Shit show. Say it, Kyle.
Sometimes I call the guys up and quickly break it down, and sometimes I have to go to the bathroom, and I tell Fred to call him up. And so I just say, Fred, offense is up. You got it. Let's go. And we just come out. So it's more scheme. All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. That's it, man. Tony, we're going to have this conversation. I know you got to go. I know you got an early day tomorrow. I want to hear from you, big dog. You got to give me some thoughts on this, man. It was National Tight Ends Day. George Kittle goes the fuck off. He gets his touchdown in there, man. What are your thoughts, man, on George Kittle, National Tight Ends Day? I saw Sam Laporta out there shine. I think Sam Laporta had 2 touchdowns today. And Deebo had a touchdown today. I mean, the guys were out there. Tight ends were doing their thing. But aside from that, tell me how you felt about George Kittle today. Stepping in the absence of guys like Christian McCaffrey and Brandon Ayuk. Talk to me, man. What's up?
I thought Kittle had a hell of a game, man. Played well in the passing game, the run game. He stepped it up with Ayuk being hurt. Deebo not 100%. The young kids are getting their opportunity now. It's what you want to see. Like we said, there's no true leaders on this team. Him coming out the second half, I think he said, I'm going to make a play, and I'm going to get this team I'm going to get this offense rolling. And the first play, first big play was to him on a shallow crosser, and he broke it down the sideline for a large gain. So, that's what you want to see. The offense was more the traditional offense of Kyle Shanahan in the second half, so the adjustments were there with his play calling and personnel packages and alignments, meaning under center rather than shotgun. The first half, it seemed like they were trying to do something a little different. Maybe because of the way Kansas City defended them. Maybe Kyle tried to change something in his offense to try to, in case Dallas came out and played the same way. So I got to rewatch it, to be honest with you, to see how they came out and defended him on every play because, I'm half asleep right now, and I really wasn't focused on that during the game. So I'll go back and try to see it if I can see it on the regular view. But it's what you want to see. You want to see the adjustments being made, and it's positive and it works. But just when the offense stepped up and was flying high, the defense took a step back. So they just got to get this thing where all three phases. Well, the third phase is a disaster, but both offense and defense are playing on the same level. And once that happens, if it happens, I think that's where you'll see this team start to take off and start separating itself in the NFC. All based off of injuries, guys coming back from injuries as well. So it's gonna be interesting. They got to stop shooting themselves in the foot. I'm watching the game right now where Deebo breaks it down the sideline on a beautiful pass from Purdy, and it's a stupid penalty, like a penalty that he didn't need to do. I mean, technically, is it a penalty? Yes. Could have been overlooked, sure, because it really didn't alter the play. The ball was way out of Purdy's hands while the hold happened.
You talking about the hold? Wait. Are you talking about the hold on Saubert?
Yeah.
That was fucking egregious, bro. He held him
Yeah.
for like 7 seconds straight. Like that was.
He held him though, but like the ball was gone, Mike. And then you saw like at the last second, you saw the defender kind of hook his arm down, so it made it look like he was really holding him to try to get that draw.
He sold it. That's what the defender sold the holding call. Like, hey, look, this guy's holding me.
Yes, but but what I'm saying is he exaggerated it because the ball is gone. To say, oh shit, he's holding me, and then they threw that flag. But here nor there, it's over, it's done with. They won the game. I just wish Kyle would get back to the more traditional under center stuff. I'm not saying 100% cut the shotgun out. No, by all means, I'm not. I mean, Purdy still could operate out of the shotgun. He still could throw out of the shotgun. I think the offense could be functional out of the shotgun, but the transition of it being predominantly shotgun versus more your traditional alignment of under center is what is concerning me. And it's clear as day. Once he started going under center, you saw the offense start to go. You saw the run game start to go. You saw him drop back, set his feet, and make his throws. It's sometimes when he's sitting there in the shotgun with the time, that's when he gets a little inaccurate or questionable with the ball placement because he has the time and his mechanics might not be there because it's not a routine drop back. It's just sit, analyze, look, see it, throw it. And you saw in the one play, his feet kind of just stood there, and then at the last minute, he just stepped into it. So, I'm happy that they bounced back. I'm happy that the offense did enough to win this game where, in past practices, the offense didn't finish strong. I think the offense finished strong in this game. It was more the defense in the fourth quarter that was the issue. But, they won. They're at 500 now. They're technically in second place they're tied for second place with the Rams, I believe. Oh, no. Well, it's a three-way. I don't know. It's a three-way tie with their records. The division wins, I think the 49ers are not in second place. But, they have this week now. They got to rest. They got to recuperate. They're going to get some people back. And hopefully the people that are coming back are going to be able to play and continue and stay healthy and be able to contribute and make that push towards their ultimate goal of not the Super Bowl, of making the playoffs and getting hot at the right time. But, it's going to be an all-hands-on-deck situation. And I think they can do it. And I think, Kyle is struggling 100%. But there's reasons why Kyle is struggling. Kyle, the defensive coordinators are defending his offense different. because they know they're not 100% healthy and they don't have all their weapons out there. So it's that much harder on Kyle to try to work around the lack or due to the significant injuries and come up with something to make it keep the offense productive and not go stagnant. But on the same time, by him doing that, it's also Brock Purdy now is behind the eight ball because now he's got to get himself up to that par with the new look and the new adjustments that Kyle's putting due to the way the teams are defending Brock and the offensive pass. So we'll see what happens. Side note, I think Ricky Pearsall had a hell of a game. I like what I see from the kid. He's a competitor. He's not afraid of contact. He's a tough guy, even though he's not big. Cowing, I think Cowing, Pearsall could be something for this team going in the future.
I didn't see much from Cowling on the offensive side of the ball today, though.
No, not offensively, but he improved himself in the return game. He stopped tripping over his feet in a couple times. But again, what did we see from Cowling last week? The deep shot that Purdy dropped the dime right into him. You got to incorporate this kid. You can't. I don't think Ronnie Bell should be active on game days whatsoever anymore. All right, because that one play where Brock threw that ball, I think it was the fourth down play where he rolled out, and you saw him yelling at somebody. He was pointing at Ronnie Bell for doing the wrong thing. Instead of coming back to the ball, he started blocking or something, and you saw clearly Brock Purdy was aggravated and frustrated because of what happened. So instead of putting Bell on the field, put Cowing on the field. Let the kid develop. Let the kid get some run with the offense. Let him build a rapport with Purdy. And, Kyle needs to start incorporating the youth because next year he's going to have to depend on the youth. And you need to develop the youth to be prepared for next year. So once decisions need to be made on the roster and Brock Purdy gets paid, that's an issue that will be at least addressed somewhat this year. But overall, I think they played well. I like how they bounced back. I like how the offense finished. The defense was playing good. Took a little step back in that late third, early fourth quarter. But ultimately, they got the win. They're back at 500, and they're right in striking position to go into their bye, get healthy, get everybody back, and just, let it go. Let the offense go. Let it play. Let the defense do what it's got to do, and just make your push.
Yeah. Woke Mike, man, I got some questions for you, man. And Tony, if you want to chime in afterwards, feel free to. This is the first time all year long where I don't remember yelling at the special teams units. The one time I had an outburst about special teams, the officials missed a fair catch call where our team got hit on the fair catch. There weren't any big plays. Turpin is a major player on special teams. The Niners did a good job of containing him and reducing what he could do as a return man. We finished the game with 469 yards to the Cowboys, 292. I'm talking about total yards. We ran the ball for 223 yards to the Cowboys, 56, guys. 56. The Cowboys haven't been a good team running the ball this year, and we made sure they didn't sniff 100 yards. Mike, I want to ask you this question, man. How'd you feel about the special teams tonight? And if this is the ceiling for the special teams? We didn't have a single special play on special teams. There was no turnovers. There was no major returns or anything like that, but they just flat out didn't cost us any points in this game. Is what you saw tonight from the special teams good enough to be their ceiling all year long?
Yeah, they were okay. I mean, I guess it could be their ceiling. They could only be worse as opposed to being much better, I guess, because I don't know if they could do much more than what they've done so far.
Yeah. The defense went out there, and I was actually pretty proud of the defense. If you include fourth down efficiencies, they were 5 of 14 in the conversion rate. So on third downs they were 4 of 12. The Cowboys were, and on fourth down they were 1 of 2. So that's a total of 5 of 14. Meanwhile, the Niners were 8 of 17 if you include fourth down efficiencies. On third down, the Niners were exactly 50%, 8 of 16. We only ran 5 more plays than the Cowboys, but here we are looking at a difference of well over 150 yards in total yard production, man. The Niners just seem to really, really find a groove in the second half, man. Mike, tell me how you felt about this defense tonight, because this is something that we're going to continue to scratch our heads about. I honestly don't know if the defense is good or not. I know that sounds crazy, right? Like, we had 2 forced fumbles. We didn't recover either one of them. We had some turnovers, though. We had some sacks. Do the Niners have a good defense? I can't call it. What do you guys think? Let's start with Mike, and then we'll go to Tony. Do the Niners have a good defense?
It's good enough. I mean, I was happy with them to start with. It wasn't until they kind of fell apart there in the fourth quarter with the CeeDee Lamb touchdowns that I was like, okay, what are we doing now? But yeah, of course, I would have loved to have gotten those fumbles.
Yeah.
But we got the interception, so we got something. It wasn't like we got nothing.
Yeah.
And for the most part, it seemed like we held them in check for, until later in the game when we just started giving up points.
Yeah, we did finish the game with two interceptions. But CeeDee Lamb, man, you talked about him, and Tony, will give it to you. I want to get your thoughts on the defense. He finished the game with 13 receptions for 146 yards and 2 touchdowns. And both of those touchdowns, there was no one within 10 yards of him, man, for either one of those touchdowns. How do we explain that? How do you feel about that, Tony?
I think it's concerning because that's clearly blown assignments, I think. But as far as the defense, I think the defense has the talent. I just think the defense is very, very inconsistent. Pass rush, tackling, they're so inconsistent with their tackling. It's disturbing. But I think if they were able to become more consistent with their pressures, their tackling, their coverage. Coverage, when I say coverage, I mean communication on the back end. I mean, I think that's still an issue. But I think if they're able to do that, and again, pieces are potentially could be coming back. Now, we don't know where they are as far as in their recovery or what they're going to be once they're cleared and recovered and cleared to play football. What Greenlaw is going to be explosive. They're going to be fast. He still has the same mentality. He's still going to play physical, but is he going to be that quick, agile linebacker that he was previously? That's to be determined. We got to see how he responds. But the defense has the potential, but the defense really needs to tighten things up, especially in the communication side of the secondary and the coverages and handing zones off, and when people are traveling through zones like we saw on the touchdown passes. That's very disturbing. And if the 49ers offense bogged down and Kyle wasn't able to do what he was able to do to keep putting points up on the board or giving them opportunities to put points on the board, I think this could have been another loss for the 49ers. Then the question becomes, well, is it on Kyle Shanahan? Is it on the defense? But clearly they need to work on some stuff in that secondary. So once they're able to tie that rush to that coverage, I think that's when you'll see the defense really become consistent.
There's a week and a half before the NFL trade deadline. All right. Mooney Ward is he's a conundrum to me, because I don't think Mooney Ward is as bad as what we've been seeing this year. I don't think he's as good as we saw 2 years ago. I think that was like kind of an anomaly season for him. But I definitely don't think he's as bad as what we've seen this year. And then obviously there's the guy Campbell as a linebacker who is clearly a fill-in. I don't think that he's overly valuable to the 49ers right now. He's got some moments where it's like, okay, Campbell, I see you. But he's got way more moments where it's like, Campbell, I see you and you're fucking up, right? Would you guys be in the market? We got about 10 to 12 days before the trade deadline. It's on November 5th. Would you guys be making a move for anybody? And if so, what position? Let's go with Mike, and then we'll go with Tony. And then we'll let Tony go.
I don't know. That's interesting. I've seen people say that they think, Mooney should get traded, but I'm thinking if he's playing as bad as we think he is, who wants to trade for him? At least that's my opinion.
Well, so I don't know if we should trade Mooney versus keep him and acquire somebody else better than him and put him in the rotation, right? Like if Mooney's at third corner, I think we're in a really good spot. I don't think that we need to move on from him right now. I say keep him. You know what you've got. If Mooney's here and you know the floor, we can definitely work with that. But for him to be a starter, for him to be a regular guy out there, I think it's like a little bit of a question mark. And the same thing goes for Campbell, right? Like, I think Campbell is more on the negative side than even neutral or positive for sure. And that's kind of what I'm asking you guys. Like, where would you go? If you could trade for one position for this team, Mike, what would it be? And maybe it's neither one of those. Maybe you say we need another tight end. Maybe you say we need another running back. Or shit, some people think we need another quarterback. Some people are over Brock Purdy. I think Brock Purdy is going to silence a lot of people with the second half performance he had, especially what he did with his legs, and reading the field. And Brock Purdy really became a two-read quarterback in the second half. I don't know if you guys noticed that or not. Maybe that's just the way I'm interpreting it. I would love to get Tony's opinion on that, but I really feel like Brock Purdy was a two-read quarterback in the second half, and if neither one of those were there, he just took off. And not only did he take off, he made really good positive plays with his legs. But Mike, let's give it back to you. If there was just one position, just one that you could guarantee to trade and improve on, what position would it be?
Let me see. That was a tough one for me.
You want
probably offensive line.
O-line.
Even though that's rare that you ever could find somebody on the O-line to trade for, but that's somewhere that I could think of off the top of my head that I would take somebody if we could get one.
That's not a terrible pick. I want to go to Tony next. And if he's still there, I don't know if we lost Tony. I don't know if he's asleep. I can't quite see his eyes.
I'm here.
Okay. What position, if there was only one that you could trade for and guaranteed to get an upgrade, what position would it be for this team?
I would have to say the defensive line because it's the quickest way you'll get them on the field and get them to be able to contribute and help. Offensively, receivers, you got to learn the scheme. Running backs, you got to learn the protections. Tight ends, you got to learn the patterns, the combos with the run blocking as well. Linebackers is a little bit more tough. The secondary, I think there's talent in the secondary, but if they do choose to go with secondary player, which I don't think they will, I think they like what they have, but I do think they are lacking a true coverage-free safety with speed. But again, I think at this point, you have to look at your defensive line, whether it's inside or out. You would add a piece there because you're going to get your quickest turnaround and your quickest return on investment at that position group because it's more of a skill set and going out and playing. Now, the flip side of it is due to the financial situation of this team going forward. I understand they have an abundance of cap space right now, and they're going to try to roll it over till next year, depending on if they make a move or not. If this isn't a piece that's going to be accounted for as a part of the future of this team, I'm not trading any draft picks. This team's going to need all their draft picks. They're going to need bodies to fill this roster out. Because they're gonna have to make a couple decisions next year on players, and whether they're gonna be able to hold them or they're gonna have to move on from them and start eating some dead cap space.
You got to know when
and stuff like that. But I mean, unless it's a deal that it's going to be more than just 2024, it's going to be 2025, 2026, 2027, and something that's going to be a building piece to the core of this roster and this team. I don't think they're going to make any big moves. Maybe they might grab a guy maybe for a 7th rounder. I understand that. As a rental, but anything big like that, I'm not touching anything north of a 4th. I wouldn't even touch anything north of a 5th round pick for a guy.
So, I mean, you're looking at it from a compensation standpoint. I just want to know what one position would you go at if
I
you
told
could
you
get
that's the line because that's going to be your fastest return on investment. They're going to be on the field the quickest,
regardless of what we got to give up. I don't care about compensation. What I want to know is like, okay, we're going to get this one position in here, and that's going to help us out in the long term. I just want to know what the position is. Don't tell me it's a 2nd round pick. It's a 7th round pick. I don't care about any of that. I want to know the one position that we're going to go
Defensive
after. D-line.
whether it's going to be an edge, interior, or it could be 1-on-1.
Interesting.
And as far as Campbell, the 49ers almost signed Kendricks for Dallas, and Kendricks got 100% exposed by George Kittle today.
Well, he was – never mind. I'm not going to do that. Yes, I agree with you. That's all I'm going to say on that.
And their issue is we continue to see Campbell because none of the young guys are stepping up. I think Winters is ultra talented. I think Winters is the most undisciplined player out of the linebackers that they have.
Wow.
Keeps getting hurt too, though. Doesn't help.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
anytime he gets extended play, he's dinged up somehow.
You see his ability to trigger, but when he triggers, and if he triggers 5 times, 3 times he's out of it. He triggers himself so hard he's out of the play.
He overcommits.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But on that note, I'm going to bed.
No. Well, not just you. We're all going to get up out of here, man. Mike, I'm going to give you the floor for any final thoughts that you had, man. I know that I kind of just threw some questions at you, but I do want to get your overall assessment of the game, and then we'll end it with Tony, and then we're going to go home here. Your final thoughts, fellas. We're going to start with Mike. What you got for us, big dog?
It was a roller coaster ride. You know, it wasn't very good in the beginning, and then it looked better in the 3rd quarter, and then it got scary in the 4th quarter. But in the end, we won, and that's pretty much all that matters. So that's my thoughts.
Okay. All right. We're gonna hide behind that veil of we won, so it's okay. It's okay. I'm not mad at that. I might not agree with it, but I'm not mad at that at all. Not at all. Again, if this is the worst that we look and we get out of it with a win for the rest of the season, we're in a good spot. Tony, man, what about you? Oh, go ahead, Mike. Go ahead. Say it.
No, I was just going to say, it's not that I'm 100% happy with it. I'm just saying.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. If I implied that you're content, that's not what I was intending to do.
Yeah, I was just saying I'm glad we won. You know, if we would have lost, I'd have been upset. But
yeah,
we won. So.
Okay. All right, Tony, man. What about you, Santa?
I think I think right now with this team, it's a week-to-week thing. I don't think you can't be looking to, we're in the playoffs. Yeah, we're going for the 1st seed, the 1 seed to get the 1st round bye. That's out the window. We got to go week to week and see how this team answers. Due to the significant injuries, you have to. They are developing their young talent, which is a major plus. Meaning, more J.P. Mason, Garendo at the running back spot, Pearsall, Cowing at the receiver spots, the offensive line, Pooney's playing the right guard. So you're seeing contributions from this draft class, right? Green, the cornerback. Then you got Mustafa taking over the safety spot. You have Brown last year, a second-round pick, a third-round pick. They're building this team, and they're getting all their experience now. So now next year and the rest of this year, it's only going to be better, and they're only going to improve because they're young, they're getting their run, and they're developing and gaining the experience. And that's only the way you're going to learn, and that's the only way you're going to become a better NFL player. And that's the only way the team is going to be able to truly evaluate them when it comes down to roster decisions and addressing needs that they feel that they might need to address. So far, the dividends from this draft class is paying off significantly. I think they did very well in this draft class. And as far as the people saying Purdy's not it, Purdy's this, Purdy's that, you know what? Okay. Maybe the way he played in the first half when only putting up 6 points on the board, we could talk about that. But guess what? In the second half, when they made their adjustments and put Purdy in the more traditional 49ers offense where he's had success and proven to be potentially a franchise quarterback, you saw him transition back to the way he was playing. And you saw the struggles go away, and you saw the offense to start gaining steam and being productive.
Yeah.
With that being said, it is a positive. I understand people don't want to hear $60 million, but unfortunately,
the price is the price. The market is the market, baby.
The market is that price. That's what he's going to get paid because the Giants had to hand Daniel Jones $45 million, and they're talking about benching Daniel Jones. And Brock Purdy is a 10 times better quarterback than Daniel Jones. A more developed, a more polished quarterback, a more true pocket quarterback than Daniel Jones is right now at this in their point of their respective careers. But, people need to back off with this shit with this kid because I understand he's like that team guy. He's quiet. He's very humble. Don't think for 1 second this kid don't hear and see what's being said about him.
Yeah.
Okay? You don't want to ruin this kid's confidence. You don't want to this kid starts second guessing himself. You want this kid to go on the field and just play the game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and that's it. So, with that being said, Kyle Shanahan's the coach of this team. He's going to be the coach of this team next year. Brock Purdy's going to be the quarterback of this team next year. They're not going nowhere unless something happens so bad where this team just quits on Kyle. I can't see Kyle going anywhere. But I will tell you this, and I will stand firm with this. I think the two of them will be sat down in an office with the Yorks, and they will be told, listen, you need to bring another person in here to help you as far as on the offensive side of the ball. And I think they will be addressing the defensive side of the ball with Kyle. I think they could start applying pressure to Kyle in that aspect because deep down inside, I think and I feel that Kyle's a good coach. Is he perfect? No. But if the Niners were to cut him and fire him, Kyle Shanahan will have a job. And it'll be pretty damn fast. So you got to be careful what you wish for because you're a split decision away and being back to the Chip Kelly and Jim Tom Sula days. As far as
okay. Yeah, I agree. So here's my thing, right? And Antonio Baker says here he's not going to get $16 million. I don't think he wants $16 million. It's going to be 45. That's not what an agent's going to allow. $45 million a year isn't on the plate for any starting quarterback. Not a single one. Not one. No one's making $45 million a year in 2024. No one's signing a deal. No one is signing a deal in 2024 for $45 million. I'm going to tell you why. $45 million is a number that's in no man's land. Okay? I don't care if it's for 5 years, 10 years. That's only $450 million. All right? Even if it's a 10-year deal. The last 10-year deal we saw signed was for $500 million. It was over $500 million, and that was for Patrick Mahomes. What, 2-3 years ago? No one's signing a 10-year deal for $45 million. So you're either a starter or you're not. Brock Purdy's gonna get the $60 million because that's what the market is. It doesn't matter what he wants. That's what he hired an agent for. His agent's not going to let that go through.
And be specific about the $60 million. It doesn't mean because it comes to a 10-year, $600 million deal, he's getting $60 million a year. There's things in there that it's going to be worded certain ways. You know, where he's not getting $600 million. On paper, it's going to show, yeah, he got a 10-year deal for $60 million. Great, that's what you want. But you break down these contracts, they're not even worth a quarter of those values. Like Patrick Mahomes' deal is, unless you're Deshaun Foster, but that's a disaster. I don't think an NFL team will ever do another fully guaranteed contract after seeing what
Deshaun
Foster turned into with that deal.
Watson.
Watson, whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
I'm so tired of him.
Yeah, they're over the fully guaranteed contracts, and it's cool. It's cool, you know. But here are my final thoughts on the 49ers this evening. By no stretch of the imagination were the 49ers perfect. Special teams wasn't perfect, but they were good enough tonight. The defense was not perfect. A couple turnovers, opportunities for at least 2 more turnovers. I'm going to say 3 because there were 2 forced fumbles. They didn't recover either one, and there was a dropped interception as well. Not perfect, but good enough tonight. And the offense, first half, not good enough. But in the second half, good enough to get the job done. There's still room for growth, guys. We are working with a lot of rookies, a lot of inexperienced players out there, and I encourage all you faithful to be patient. We are seeing some changes with Kyle Shanahan. While all of you guys out there who are over Kyle Shanahan, all of you guys out there who are over Kyle Shanahan are trying to tell me that you're over him because he just can't do anything different. I saw someone arguing for 4 days straight in my mentions saying that Kyle Shanahan's running the same offense that he ran back in Washington, and he's running the same offense that his father ran while he was with Denver and even the 49ers. And I want to tell you guys that could not be any further from the truth. Kyle Shanahan he's trying to change. He is forcing a change, and even maybe that is to his detriment, right? Maybe that part, forcing the change, is to his detriment. But one thing you cannot say about Kyle Shanahan is that everything is exactly the same. It's not. It's not. 49er fans have been up in arms. The people who watch the film, the people who break down the statistics are saying that, hey, we don't need to be in shotgun 65% of the time, Kyle. That's not what you do. You are forcing your quarterback to do something in uncharted territory in the biggest season of his career, right? There are people out there saying, why are we running the ball the way that we're running it instead of the way that we used to run it? You have players going to the podium saying that we used to do this, but we're not doing it now. Last year, we heard that on defense. This year, we're hearing it on offense. So for anybody out there who thinks that this is the same old 49ers or Kyle Shanahan-led team, it is everything except that. With that all said, we are at 500. As far as I'm concerned, we are 0 wins, 0 losses, and what we have ahead of us right now are 9 more games. If the 49ers can come out of these 9 games with 6 wins, we will make the postseason. And we will be a challenge and a detriment to any of the teams going against us in those 9 games and anybody that we face in the postseason. All is not lost, but we are not guaranteed a Super Bowl appearance. Let me be very clear what I'm saying. There's plenty to improve on, okay? But we got to stay patient. And we have to watch these young people learn and grow. Kyle Shanahan did something tonight that I did not think I was going to see in a Kyle Shanahan era, okay? If you take a step back and look in this second game as a 49ers fan, as a 49ers player, I'm sorry, not as a fan. You had Ricky Pearsall have a rush for 39 yards. You had Ricky Pearsall have not one, not two, not three, but 4 receptions for 38 yards, almost 10 yards a reception. You had a rookie named Isaac Garindo run the ball for 14 times for 85 yards and a touchdown, and he could have had 2 and a couple more yards, but he chose to slide and let it go for the 49ers, the better of the calls. Easily could have had 90 yards and a touchdown on 14 carries. We're seeing selfless football. We are seeing new faces in this franchise, in this organization, completely selling out and bought in to the team mentality, not the me mentality. When you see players on the sideline fighting with each other in the same exact uniform, we saw it tonight in this week's football with the Seattle Seahawks. We saw it. The video clips went around on social media. We saw the Seahawks players fighting with each other while they were only down 1 score to the Buffalo Bills, by the way. Just 1 score to the Bills they were down by, and they were already fighting in the fisticuffs with each other on the sideline. You haven't seen that here in the San Francisco building. You have not seen that here where the 49ers represent and proudly wear that red and gold. That SF logo means something. It is a team-first mentality, and rookie running back Isaac Garindo is the perfect example of that. Rookie wide receiver Ricky Pearsall is the perfect example of that. And for all of you out there who think that maybe, just maybe, Deebo Samuel has a little bit of bitch-made blood in him because every time he seems to get hurt, he doesn't want to finish the game, I'll challenge you guys on that as well. And you all know I'm not the biggest Deebo Samuel fan or supporter. But I am going to tell you this. There's nothing and no one that's going to keep him on the sidelines other than himself and his body. If Deebo is telling you I can't go, it's for a damn good reason. One thing I have never called Deebo Samuel is soft. Ever. You can go back and watch all the years of me on this platform, and I've never called Deebo Samuel soft. I've said he is not the best route runner. I said he is not the best blocker. He does not give the best effort when the ball isn't coming his way or going to his side of the field. I have said a million things. I hated the way he negotiated his contract, but I've never called him a quitter. I've never called him a chump. I've never called him soft. This team does have an identity. And while we may struggle to see it because the offensive play calling may seem to look a little different, because the defensive plays aren't quite what we want them to be, there is still an identity. We fight for each other. We lock arms in those huddles. And we look the man next to us in the eye and say, I got your back. IGYB. That is the mantra of the San Francisco 49ers. And that is what we are riding into the bye week. We're going to take this momentum, and we are going to run with it. And when all the dust settles, when the smoke clears and the chips are all on the table, I'm willing to bet it all on the 49ers to not only make a playoff push, but make a deep playoff push. I'm not saying that we're going to get to the Super Bowl. By no stretch of the imagination am I willing to say after 8 games that we are the best team in the NFC. I saw the Lions put up 50-plus. They had over 35 points in the first half just tonight. By no stretch of the imagination am I going to sit here and say that we have the best quarterback in the NFL. I've seen his flaws. I've seen the hesitation. I've seen the turnovers this season alone. By no stretch of the imagination will I lie to you guys and say that we even have the best play caller in Kyle Shanahan, because I've questioned him more than I have applauded him just on this season. But what I will say is this. While everybody out there says that you can't teach an old dog new tricks, I have seen new tricks from this old dog. I have seen adjustments by head coach Kyle Shanahan. And for better or worse, whatever his reasoning is, I am inclined to believe that he believes it is for the betterment of his team, for his quarterback, for his running backs. I don't know what the end result will be. And I will not be judged based off the results of the games. But I do believe still in head coach Kyle Shanahan. I do believe in offensive play caller and coordinator Kyle Shanahan. I still have hope for young quarterback Brock Purdy. I still believe in Isaac Guerendo, Jordan Mason, and even the triumphant return of Christian McCaffrey. I am buying into the young rookie wide receiver in Pearsall. And I'm still holding out hope that guys like Fred Warner can hold us down until Dre Greenlaw is willing to come back and able to come back for this defense. I still believe that New Jersey's own Jair Brown can be a major contributor in that secondary, with or without Hufanga. I think that Mustafa, I think that Renardo Green can listen and learn. And while communication may not be at its peak right now, these guys are indeed learning and listening to each other. And sometimes a conversation is deeper with words not spoken. Sometimes it is the look of disappointment that affects you the most. It's not about what you say. It's not always about how you say it. But the when and where weighs just as much. Sometimes even more. And I believe with my entire heart, with all of my being, that as this team heads into the bye week, when they come back together tomorrow and review this film, and when Kyle Shanahan gives his departing comments on Tuesday, they will walk away from this team better than what they were tonight. And tonight was good enough to get a win. Tonight was good enough for me to not yell at Schneider for the first time all season because of what we've seen on special teams. Tonight was good enough for me to not say Nick Sorensen needs to go. Tonight was good enough for me to say or not say that I don't know if Brock Purdy is the guy. Through 8 weeks of this season, the ebbs and flows have been high and low. We've been all over the spectrum so far this season. But if this, what we saw tonight, is the medium, I think we are on the right path. And I think it's sustainable. And I think that our season-ending goals are attainable. So I implore you guys, I encourage you guys, and I even beg you guys to lock in. Tighten up those shoestrings. Huh? Put on your jerseys and your 49ers gear and make sure it fits right. Huh? Put on your smell good so when you walk by strangers, they have to turn and look and say, what was that? Who was that? I want you guys to be as intoxicating as a 49ers game is to us faithful when you walk by a stranger. I want them to stop and pause and take a look at you and say, what is different about that person? That's what's going to define the 49ers in these next 9 games. That's what's going to separate us from the rest of the 31 teams in the NFL. We are built for this. We have seen worse, and we have endured. We are not here by half a chance or circumstance. We are here by design. It may not have gone the way that we want it to go, but there's so much more left in the tank. Don't give up, guys. We are fighting for a cause, and I sincerely believe that this team will unify. We are going to get out of here. Mike, let's break this thing down here the way that we do on Nothing But Niners. You ready?
Yeah.
Prepare for glory.
Anticipate pain.
But always
remain faithful.
We'll see y'all guys tomorrow. Peace.
We all gas, no brakes, pumped up, no fakes. We spinning, we winning, we high stakes. We never miss, we all makes. Look at us dudes trying to prove, bringing you news with nothing to lose. Mike, Nick, Tony, Wayne, Method Man, we bring the pain. Hey. See I'ma confess it. We under the pressure. If you looking to find us, we them nothing but Niners.
Niners. We